Yes, I've been burning for the answer to this question.
Uh-oh, got
So
me nervous.
no, it's the same one with the shrine, and I thank you for doing this as well. So it's really just to clarify when we go to the shrine, the do's and the don'ts. And because I personally feel like, okay, I want to offer some things to my ancestors, and I do know the tools we have in the shells, you can ask and
Uh-huh.
then share, but I also understand the guiding principles. So I wanted to just ensure that just because my shells, even though you did say your shell said it, you can do it, just to make sure I'm following the guiding principles. And so if you could just touch a little bit on that in terms of, I know there's dry foods like millet. I haven't put it directly into the shrine, just close to the shrine. Milk, whenever I have to cleanse myself, I usually leave it there. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm just unsure of what I should do. And then the order of the candles when I light, I remember that you said something to the effect of you like the white candle, and we express that this is harmony, balance to success, and to kind of set the tone of the following candle of the red. And that's where it's action, it's for your ancestors, and you let them know what is the situation and what you would like. And then the third candle, depending on either throwing the shells or what the ritual entails, is a reflection of what it's supposed to look like. Or I think I said that to you before, and you said it's not what you think it's supposed to look like, but kind of to explain the vibe that you would like to happen once you've done your ritual.
Woo!
Sorry.
This might your questions might take up everybody's questions, so this might be the whole session. Nice.
Oh no, I don't want to take away from everybody.
This is I'm saying it will probably answer most people's questions, which is great. So these are the taboos, the guiding principles around your shrine. One, do not have your shrine in a room where you rabbit dance. Rabbit dancing is sex. Don't have it in that room. Do not rabbit dance in the room that your shrine is in. Because you know, some of y'all become, like somebody mentioned in the last session, become impulsive. And you might be passing by your shrine room, and next thing you know, you're in there. No. Don't do that one. Also, if for women, if your cycle is on, do not sit at your shrine. If your shrine's in the living room and you pass by it, it's like, that's fine. Do that. Don't sit at your shrine and start doing invocations, stuff like that. Let me see. Make sure that if you move, meaning you move from one home to another home, you must welcome your ancestors to your new home, because it's actually kind of where they're going to be chilling out too. And you can give them a white candle, red candle, some liquor, and some incense should do. That should be fine. And just kind of let them know that you've come, you moved, this is their new home, blah, blah, blah. Let them know to, make this home into a spiritual space or ritual space. You know how you want your home to be. Okay. Let me see. There's not a lot of taboos around the shrine. The main one is like sex and when the woman cycles on. Those are the main two. Yeah, that's great for now. Leave it at that. That's good. It's not a lot. I think that's it that I could think of off the top of my head. Okay. Now, what were your other questions you asked? There was about 10 questions in there.
Okay, so when we get to our shrine and we would like to offer something, so if it's millet,
Yes.
to clarify, I would imagine the millet would stay dry because in Jamaica we make porridge. So my question is like, if I make porridge and I feel like I want to share that, does that logical, or is it best that it's dry? And then it's not putting it in the shrine, it's like putting it near the shrine. Because I would like to distinct the distinction between the altar and the shrine. Because the altar, I understand you explained that very clearly, and it's like putting things, leaving things out. Now the shrine, we spit the cola, the alcohol into the shrine. So when you said that somebody brought their shrine and there was a whole bunch of stuff in it, that's the distinction that I want to make sure. What can we put in the shrine directly? What stays in a bowl or plate around it?
Okay, great. Now, this is a good question. Now, the things that you should not do, and actually this goes into some of the guiding principles. Jeez, I'm glad you brought this up. Once your shrine is created, do not go adding stuff to your shrine because you like crystals. Don't go home and buy some quartz and amethyst and blah, blah, blah. All this other stuff because you like it and then just pop that into your shrine. Don't do that. The shrine it's a recipe in the same way there's a recipe to make a cake or a recipe to make any dish. There's a recipe, there's a formula that's put together to create your shrine. And so adding other things to your shrine, that doesn't work. Now, however, if you give it liquor, of course you're adding liquor, milk, millet. And with the millet, you can cook the millet and sit that on. You can do that with millet. Don't add roses to your shrine. Somebody added a bunch of roses to their shrine. And the moment, I'll never forget the moment I touched that shrine, they were like, what in the world? People were like, get this stuff out of here. And they added roses because they like roses. Or something told them to put roses in there. People didn't want the roses in there at all. So yeah. So that's what I mean by adding things to your shrine. Anything outside of the formula, anything that you think, yes, this is it. Anything that you think is going to enhance your shrine or make your shrine more powerful, and that's why the guy added the roses. That's why some people put some crystals. They know that these crystals are supposed to possess some power or whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not into crystals like that, so I'm not sure what all the crystals, the power or the properties of all these crystals. They added crystals thinking that they were gonna make the shrine more powerful. When you get the shrine, it is operating at its maximum. You are not going to be able to make it more powerful. No. This is not like, it's not like an engine on a car where you can modify, you can bore out the engine and make it more powerful or something like that. It's not like that. Okay. Now, did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Great. All right, next, what you got? Was that it? I know that. We're still like a lot more than that.
Well, I see a lot of hands up, so I'm just gonna leave it in a foot.
We're gonna work through all of these. That's why we're having this. I want to make sure everybody is clear, and you're probably gonna address some of the things that some of the other people have. So we can go. Let's
okay, cool. Thank you. So now with the order of the candles, the thing is that some of the classes I listen to them often, but I'm attempting to find that class where you had specifically spoke about the order of the candles and I can't find that class. And so that's the part that I just want to be clear on the
Yes.
exact language and the order, because I remember it and have it written down, but I felt like I'd missed something, and also had missed a few classes when I was away, and I don't have that part. So the order of the white to the red into the third or the fourth, and the
Yeah.
verbiage,
Mhm.
please.
Yes. So this is the candle order. However, there are exceptions. I gave you this order because this is primarily the order in which you will be dealing with. I did a ritual for someone whose daughter and son-in-law's home was broken into. And so she needed to do a ritual at her shrine so these people can turn themselves in. We did not use white candles at all. We used black and red. So you wouldn't have a white, red, blah, blah, blah order. And that was strictly black and red. But you all learn about that stuff later. It's not as important now. So I'm going to give you the order that you all will be dealing with. However, depending on the severity, depending on the situation, the color, the primary colors of the candles will change. Okay. Now, the order is white, and then you light the red candle with the flame from the white candle. So it's white, red, and then whatever other candles your people want. That's the order. That makes sense?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Now, there's a second part to that question, right?
Yes, it's the verbiage. So what I remember you saying is you bring light to the white candle, and as you're lighting it, you say, I want to bring direction.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so now when you have the white candle, and this is all your candles, but we're talking about the white one for now. Before you light the candle, you need to do your prayer over the candle. Before you light it, don't light it first and then do it. Or as you are lighting it, say it. You want to say whatever that is you need to say for the white candle first over the candle. And you want to say, after you call your ancestors, you want to say that you're giving them this white candle as an offering for whatever. And so with the white candle, and there are exceptions, but I'm just talking about for what you all have learned so far. The white candle is going to be for like things like happiness, things like joy, goodwill, things like that. That's what the white candle is for. And then when you light the red candle, you can say that you're giving them this red candle to help strengthen them to go and do the work that you're requesting, whatever that is. Now, you all may hear me say, you all may have heard me say sometimes when I give people a ritual, I will add something to that red candle because many times the red candle is for protection. But for the rituals that you all are doing, you all don't need that. You're not there yet. So, but for some people, you may have heard me say that. So that is the instance. Because everything I'm saying, it's the verbiage that I'm giving you for these candles are based upon where you all are. There's a whole nother level to get to, but you have to gain mastery of the level in which you are currently on before you can go to some other level doing some other rituals. Okay, and to gain mastery is practice. That's how you gain mastery. Practice, practice, practice. Okay. Now, When it comes to the additional candles, this is when your connectedness to the other world comes into play. Because if you need anything additional, your people will tell you. They will say, I need this, 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 and this. And then they will tell you why they need yellow or green or whatever other color, blue. And so you would give when you say if it's a blue candle, you would speak over that blue candle, pray over that blue candle, whatever they said they need it for. You say, I'm giving you this blue candle for blah, blah, blah. So if you listen, like when I give people those rituals to do for their family members who transition, and always remember that little ritual I give for those family members who transition is something that's temporary. That's not traditional. That is clear. That's temporary. My people said, do that for now because we have not done like a ancestralization. So at some point, all of that is going to go away. That particular ritual. But anyway, if you notice, I will, like when they get to a certain color candle, I will give specific instructions on what to say when you're dealing with that particular candle. Like sometimes, and this is not always, but sometimes they may need a black candle. And they may need a black candle because they're in darkness. But there may be other reasons they need a black candle, but it's just an example. So I don't want you always giving a black candle because you think they're in darkness or something. And I'll say that you're giving the black candle so that they can bring light where there's darkness. Or something like that, I'll say. And as this black candle burns away, so shall light come into the space wherever that ancestor is. Something like that. And so those subsequent candles, you have to be in tune with your people. And it's just practice, 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 practice. That's what it is. And don't feel like you're alone or you're by yourself. You can actually post or or ask. If you can't get in touch with me, I may be really busy. Ask your old Kareem or something like that.
Yeah, she's very good at helping Kareem Sudo.
Yeah. Okay. Sudo, yeah, she is. You are absolutely right about that.
So we like to.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Okay. All right.
So your subsequent candles are usually action candles. This is to address Wendy's question or comment. She says she thought black is for action. Your subsequent candles, those will be for action or something like that. Something is going to be done. You're telling them to do something. So yeah. Okay, Zach, what you got?
Yeah, I was saying that we like the subsequent candles with the white candle, right?
No.
I've been doing it wrong.
No. Okay, let me get that in order. You light the first candle with an outside, we call it an outside flame, match, lighter, something like that. Some of y'all have blow torches, whatever you have. Every subsequent candle, so for example, if you're using a white, red, purple, green candle, you're gonna light the white candle first, followed by the red candle, but you're gonna light the red candle with the flame from the white candle. Then when you get to what purple, you get to the purple candle, you will light the purple candle with the flame from the red candle. And when you get to what I say, green, whatever color, just say green. When you get to the green candle, you will light the green candle with the flame from the purple candle. So your additional candles beyond the white candle, you will always light that with the flame from the subsequent candle. Do not light them with a lighter or match or something like that. Don't do that. Okay? That makes sense, Doc?
I'm just disappointed in myself. I've been doing it wrong all this time.
No, you just been doing it how you've been doing it. Look, I want everybody to like really begin to get like your language is everything. How you language yourself is everything. You were just doing them how you were doing them. You were doing them based upon what you knew. That's all you were doing. That's it. And now you know, oh, okay, this is actually how it should be done.
Mm-hmm.
So now once you have the knowledge, you can actually apply it. That's the important thing. Not what happened, whenever.
Mm-hmm.
You were just doing it how you were doing it, that's all. And your people were probably looking at you like, "Po child."
Oh gosh. Oh, thanks for that.
Okay.
I needed that.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you get the knowledge to do things in a certain way, that works. Shoot, there have been things that I've done that were not the correct way, but my elders corrected me, and they never said I was wrong. They just said, "Oh, wait, just do it like this." Because as long as you get it right or do it the correct way, that's the thing that counts. That's what counts. Okay. I said, I'm going to make sure I got you complete over here.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay. Let me see. Tiffany. Tiffany.
I'm sorry, I was trying to get myself off mute.
Okay.
My question is for those people that have, well, there are times where I feel like I struggle with balancing my actual family and the work that I'm doing for my family. And sometimes I feel like I have to choose. And, I just feel challenged with it because I want to do everything. But of course, everything, finding that delicate balance with what needs to be done in reference to homeworks and things of that nature. Like, I want to do it, but sometimes I'm just challenged with, okay, what I have to physically do as opposed to doing homework. There are times when I have those moments.
Well, I'll say this. Even the greatest juggler in the world drops his pens every now and then.
Thank you.
So
that's a great way to put it.
Good luck with the perfection of juggling. Hope it works out for you.
It's not going to be perfect. I'm learning how to be with life the way it is, and when I can get to it, when I can do it, I do it. I do it with everything I can. And they're showing me that they're showing up. So that is what I appreciate in the process as well. That when I do and what I'm doing, they are grateful for, and it's reciprocity, as you always say.
This is the thing. We are some of the most committed people on the planet, period. it's great to be that way, but and sometimes it cannot work in our favor, because you'll get to a point where you have these things like you're juggling, and your desire is to be committed to all of it at the same time. But consider that the best form of commitment is to be committed to that thing that's before you at that time. Because that's what you're dealing with in the moment. So commit there. And it doesn't mean that you're not, or you don't have commitment to the other things, because you do. But those things aren't sitting in front of you. And so if you have like the homework or whatever you have to do, okay, you know you have that. You have to the end of the night, whenever you have to do that, or early in the morning, depending on your assignment, whenever. If your family is there, that's your focus. Be committed there. And then once that's handled, with ease. I don't mean frantically, like you're rushing, like you have to. Just with ease, move to the next thing. Because the have to part of it will wear you out, I promise you. That I guarantee. And as my grandma used to say, woe out. And so just allow yourself to move through life with ease, with grace. And just, you can only do what you can do. And you cannot do what you cannot do in those moments, period. You're just not able to do that at all.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. And then, also, bring your people in to assist you with that. Like, look, this is a lot. I mean, this commitment's going on. I'm a child, got my husband, my career and taking these classes and blah, 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 all of that stuff. And you talk to them about that.
Yes, that is definitely on the agenda. Oh, he had a comment. Sorry.
That's what he's saying. That's right. Go to your people. That's what he just said. See? That's what he's talking about. But yeah, it's just, look, life is just easy. We have to get out of the training that is difficult. You just don't have to get how it's so ingrained in us for life to be difficult.
It's true.
It is.
I agree.
We're trained that life is difficult from the time we come out the womb. That's how we train. Life is hard. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You've been born into a life of sin. It's gonna be hard. Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. Setting you up to fall. That's what it's doing. Setting you up to be stressed out.
Yes.
Yeah, it's set up that way. And we're not designed physically for life to be hard. We can deal with stints of life being like that. We're not designed to live a lifetime of just struggle and life to be hard. So we're trained to be that way. And it's just deprogramming that training that we get. We're bombarded with it all the freaking time. I promise you we are. Oof.
I agree.
Everything from what the what's this little organization where you donate to kids in poor countries?
Oh yeah.
All that's doing is telling you life hard.
Yeah.
And you fight and you claw and you struggle not to be that kid. Nobody don't want to admit that, but that's the reality of it. You fight, yeah, save the children, that's it. You fight, you struggle, you steal, you do all kind of stuff not to be them. And you killing yourself to do that. So yeah, it's easy. Just float through life. Best thing to do. Now, see, and ooh, this is great. Consider this. Consider that you have been at the mercy of life instead of having life at the mercy of you.
That is very different. I can agree with that. Where you're hopeful that it won't beat you up. You know, your hands are up over your head and you're bowing down saying, can I please don't hit me again. Please don't bludgeon me to death.
Yeah.
But these are different tools and a different perspective. Yes, definitely survival mode as opposed to thriving.
Yeah. And that's how most of us exist. Like, you know, we give ourselves up to life. That's why we run around here hoping all the time. Well, hope it work out. Well, you actually at the mercy of life. You just powerless. You have no control at that point. The moment you do that. But anyway, good. Thank you. Good question. Good question.
Thank you.
Marquita, what you got? I just talked to you a few minutes ago. No, that's your partner in crime. I
And you
stand
still
corrected.
partner in crime. So,
Oh man. Okay, what you got?
okay, so I know we're supposed to heal our family or fix things that are going on with our family members.
Huh.
I have a particular family member that's a drug addict, and then I have another one that's dealing with memory loss. What exactly am I supposed to do? Like, what steps do I take to heal them or start fixing it?
Okay. This is great. So you can start now. So when you do your invocations, you can do your invocations for those family members.
Mhm.
When you for that issue may take more strength or more work to do.
Okay.
That is a good one for your to take to your shrine, because your ancestors are like they're full strength, and they can go out and work harder for you or do more work for you when you have a shrine. Now, being that you don't have one, you can still go to your people. You can still go do an invocation and talk to them and say, okay, whomever the relative is, you know, y'all see that they're on drugs, and you're probably telling them not to do it. But whatever we've been doing isn't working. So we need to come up with a new strategy. So you talk to them like that.
Okay.
And then you tell them that, oh, this is a good way to put it. You can tell them that the help is coming. It's the ancestors that you know, and they know that they'll be getting a shrine, that there'll be a shrine, so that they will be more empowered to actually go and do the work that it's gonna take for him to get off drugs or whatever, however you want to phrase that, you can. You tell them that. Because what we'll do is we'll do a ritual, and remind me when you get your shrine, please. I think it's like when you get I think in the shrine class, like assignment 5, I think, something like that, 4 or 5, where you do something for a family member who's dealing with life in a way that doesn't work. And so this would be a family member you would choose. And one of the things that we'll say is, will say that whenever he takes whatever drug it is, whether it's pills, he's smoking, who knows, whatever it is, you want the taste of that to be bitter. You want the taste of it to be unpleasurable, sour, whatever you could think of. You want that to occur to him as being the most unpleasurable, sour, bitter taste he's ever had. And we start there. And then we begin to have them to sit on him so that he can see the reality of the impact of his actions on himself, on the family, blah, 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 on down the line.
Got it.
Yeah, so we'll do something like that.
And does that go for the memory loss also?
Oh, his memory loss?
No, it's the whole another person.
Oh, another person with memory loss. We can look at it, but that may take something that may be outside the pay grade of your ancestors.
Mm.
So we could take a look at that. And so there's something else that can be done around memory.
Okay.
Matter of fact, there's somebody who's going. One of the students going to Ghana. They're dealing with some memory something, and so we're going to look at doing a ritual there. But I know there are things that help with memory that I know for certain.
Okay.
Okay. And so we'll take a look. Like when we get to that point, we'll take a look, and then I'll let you know if it's something that we need to do. That's outside the pay grade of your ancestors. Okay.
Thanks, Chief.
Okay, you're welcome. You are welcome. ES, what you got?
Hi. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, by the way. I have a question because something that's been kind of bothering me lately is relevant to the last question that was asked regarding relatives. Okay, so my foundation comes from a different school as far as different rituals, how I dealt with candles, how I spoke over candles, incense, all of that.
Yes.
Now, with that being, it comes from the same clan, just a different school of thought. I was wondering, do I need to switch up, like how I deal with the candles and what I've learned all these years?
No, do not switch that up. So let me tell you the difference. This is primary. So the ancestor shrine that we have in ARC comes out of the Dogra tradition. It comes out of a different tradition. And I did that because those shrines are easier to make. If I made one coming out of the Gomer tradition, we gonna need some goats. And I'm not interested. I'm gonna repeat with a capital N-O-T. I'm not interested in processing 25 goats.
Okay.
That is not on my list of what I want to do. So it comes out. So the shrine itself comes out of a different tradition, but they're cousins, and they consider themselves as such.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I think I have one more. And it's more about family.
Okay.
Okay. So I have I attempted to do some work in the past for relatives that were dealing with addiction. Now, the reason why I'm asking this is because when I hear you said it in the last class and you said it just a moment ago about like how, if they're dealing with these things, we help them. We're here to help our lineages.
Yeah.
But something that I learned just based off of an assignment that I was sent on was to help a relative with addiction. And they did, okay, so it didn't turn out very well because they didn't want to consume what I had taken for them. They resisted, they resisted, even though they said they wanted help. Okay.
Yep.
And so that night or morning, I received a dream where they actually came to me. The spirit that was on them came to me and snatched me and said, "Leave her alone." And what had happened was she couldn't fulfill the mission, to help her with this addiction or whatever. And she threw everything away. It was just like this. And I had invested so much money and time and flights. I attempted to work hard for her. But anyways, the last question that I was asked, like basically, like, did this person want this? And then the instruction was, don't try to make someone, or if they're not requesting it themselves, to kind of leave it alone. You understand? So that's why I'm like, when we're doing our ancestor work, should we really be calling out family member names when they don't want it? Because I've had family members like tell me, please don't involve me in that. Don't pray for me. Don't, stuff like that.
Excellent. So a couple of things. The reason that I take the approach that I take to drug for family members who are on drugs is because generally they don't really want to get off. That's
Yeah.
So if you can have them with Nikki, there's probably gonna have to be another ritual done for the addiction piece of it. But you have to get them in a state, not probably there will be, but you have to get them in a state where they will be accepting of it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, and to do that, one of the things you can do is have whatever the drug is, give it a certain taste in their mouths. And I've had people who've done that and it's worked.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so you start there and then you build off of that, because drug addiction is tricky because you have to bathe in herbs. If they're not ready to get off, they ain't gonna bathe in no herbs. Nah.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be like Pookie from New Jack City.
Right.
It's calling me, it's calling me. That's what they're gonna be saying. That's how it's gonna occur to them. So you have to begin to take some certain steps to get them to the point where they are willing to bathe in the herbs. Because that's what needs to happen eventually, for the end of the day. They need to do that. But they're not gonna do it. I grew up with two of my uncles. They're who were on crack for since I was young, but they were on crack for about 30 years. And regardless of what was done, they wasn't ready to stop at all until one day they said, okay, I think I'm gonna stop, and they just stopped. But if you can help them to get in a position where they can see that they need to, where they're uncomfortable or something, whatever that is, then they'll be more willing to look at stopping. But you have to get them there first. So you just take steps to get there.
So would it be better to, instead of doing rituals, to just mention certain relatives, like, hey, this has been a part of our family and I don't want to impose, but can you take a look at them or help them or make, whatever? Because I don't want to be calling out family members' names. Well, it doesn't sit well with me. Like, they got these issues and they need help. Or is that something I should be doing?
Yeah, as a keeper of the shrine and family, absolutely.
Okay.
On that, I have nothing going on with that one. Yes, because at the end of the day, we're responsible for each other. We are. And if I see that I have a family member who's doing something that doesn't work, it's no different than a child. If your child was out smoking crack and your child is 14, I promise you, nobody would say, oh, well, I'm gonna leave them alone. Nah, you're not gonna do that. Because there's a level of responsibility that you feel towards them, and that level of responsibility should be no different than any other member of your family. because you want to help them because you can see, you know where that's going to go. You know where it's going to lead, what it will potentially lead to. I can't say guarantee. So yes, definitely. And you can just, you don't have to do anything that's over the top. Just do a simple invocation and just say, look, give them this taste every time they smoke, every time they take whatever, they popping pills, whatever it is. You want it to give them an unpleasurable taste or something that's not pleasurable.
Mhm.
Because the reason they're taking it is for pleasure. That's why they're taking it. But if you remove the pleasure, they're like, oh, wait a minute, this ain't working.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Excellent question. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Let me see. Joyette, what you got?
Chief, I have a question about the shrine. Sometime when we made the shrines originally, you had stated that when we sit in front of the shrine to pray to them or to do our little rituals, that we needed to lean. And I wasn't quite sure. I've been leaning, but I've also been telling my ancestors that just in case I'm doing anything wrong, because a lot of the things that I've now, confirming that I've been doing wrong, I've been telling them to forgive me if I'm doing anything incorrect. And I'm not correct on the lean.
This is what I'll do. I will actually go and I'll have someone do that and I'll post it. So you know.
Okay, great. Yeah. Thank you, Chief.
And I actually forget about that lean all the time. So I apologize.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Well, the main reason why it came up for me was because when I visited Queen O last time, I was leaning a different way, and she told me that's not right. So I was totally confused, and I think both of us were confused as to what the lean is supposed to be.
I'll post something around that. As a matter of fact, I will. Give me 1 second. Let me make a note to do that. I'll just say it. It won't get done.
Okay. Thank you, Chief.
All right. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. I'll make sure I get that done. I just made a note of it. So it'll be done very soon. Thank you. Tiana, what you got?
Okay, so I've been experiencing like depending on like the seriousness of the ritual that I'm doing, like I get extremely drained after. For instance, the rituals that I had to do for my mother, like I'm completely drained afterwards. And also like I'm dealing with issues like with the shrine being in my room. Like my ancestors won't let me rest. Like when I'm trying to sleep, like they will not leave me alone. They won't let me rest. So I'm not getting the adequate sleep that I need. And I wanted to know, what can I do about that, being drained after a ritual and being able to rest. I talked to my Kareem and she gave me some ways to kind of help that, but that's not even working.
Okay. Okay, so this is what you need a talisman. That's what they showed me initially. That's what you need to keep you from being drained. Yeah,
You said say it one more. I didn't hear you.
a talisman like protection. That's what they showed me.
Okay.
To keep you from being.
I need an additional one because I have one that I keep on that I don't take off.
I was sitting here thinking, okay. That's probably what they're showing me. Now do this. This is perfect. Watch this.
Give me a second. Give me a second. No, I don't. Close the door because I can't hear. Close the door.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, when you got your star raised, you got a talisman, right?
Yes.
And you got some black medicine.
Right.
Take the black medicine. Make a soup with the black medicine. When you make black medicine, this is for a note to everybody. When you make black medicine, every time you get ready to eat the black medicine, every plate of black medicine, that's another way to put it, a bowl or whatever, you're gonna do a prayer over it and state your intentions. You're gonna call the name of that spirit and state your intentions, whatever they are. And you want to talk about protection. You want to talk about the kind of protection that you need that particular spirit for the most. That's what you're going to talk about, is that. And tell them that you're being drained whenever you do a ritual. In particular, when you do a ritual at your shrine.
Okay.
Okay. And you want to talk about when you go to bed, you want to sleep peacefully. So you want them to sit between you and the energy from your ancestors that's keeping you up.
Okay.
We're going to talk about that.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're constantly giving me dreams, and then, not too long ago they let me know that I was attacked again. So,
really? Okay.
Yeah, but they let me know that I was attacked, and I was advised to eat the black medicine.
Okay.
So I did that, and I burnt the herbs.
Okay, good. Excellent. So you tell that spirit that, like, you don't want to, you want to be clear, like you don't want to be blocked, meaning like blocked from having dreams and the experiences that you need to have. Like, you don't want your medicine blocked, but you want to be able to sleep peacefully through the night. That's what you want. Okay. So you tell them that.
All right, okie.
And then, when are you supposed to give oil to your talisman, to your star?
Say it one more time.
What days do you give oil to your star, or your talisman?
Monday, Friday.
Mondays and Fridays. So when you give that oil on Mondays and Fridays, you also want to talk to your star about what you're dealing with in regards to not being able to sleep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And then tell your people that you don't mind the messages, but you want to sleep.
Right.
Tell them that. Just do it. Just go to your shrine and be like, look, I understand. Maybe y'all overzealous, excited. I don't know what it is. And you tell them whatever it is, it's not working because you're not able to sleep peacefully through the night. So tell them to slow that down, pump the brakes, whatever they need to do, and not give you the experience in a way that's going to be disruptive. You tell them that.
Okay.
Okay. And do that one before you tell the spirit in that your protection spirit in the black medicine, before you tell them to sit between you and your ancestors. And see.
Okay. So talk to them first and then talk to the protection spirit.
Uh-huh. Yeah, do that one first and then see if they stop.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right.
All right. Excellent.
I mean, I have
Go
there's
ahead.
another dream that I had, but I'll let somebody else have the podium.
Okay. It's up to you.
But it's another dream I need clarification on. But yeah,
Is it a long one or short one?
it's a short one.
Give it to me.
Basically, I was in like this African village, and this African man came up to me and gave me a piece of paper, and it had numbers on them, and they were identical except for two numbers. And when I looked up, he was gone, and I went looking for where he came from, and it was like a long journey that I took to look for where he came from, to find out what that the numbers on that note meant. That's pretty much the gist of it. And I was actually, well, it was more to it, but I was woken up. Somebody woke me up out of my sleep. So
Okay. Okay. So. Hey, when you planning to go to when you plan to go to Africa?
when I get some money,
Oh, that was funny. Okay, when would you like to go? How about that?
as soon as I possibly can.
Okay. Let's look at you going in August because you need to go. That's the dream.
Okay, in August.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what dream is about. Like your. Mhm. I'm gonna see if I could interpret this word or give the thing because they said your fortune is there, but they're not talking about money necessarily. You need to go. There's some stuff that you need to get. It's like, and I don't see this with many people at all. I can literally count on half a hand.
It's a spiritual inheritance, yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that's what they just said.
That. Yep.
My people just told me.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. That's what I was gonna say. I don't see many people who have a spiritual inheritance like that. And that spiritual inheritance, like there are a lot of spirits that you hold that you should be holding. That's a better way to put it. And they're waiting for you to hold them, to wield the power of them. That's what they're waiting on. So yeah.
Okay.
So,
That explains another dream that I've been having too. Okay.
Really? Okay. Yeah. That's what that's about. So they're calling you to give you what's yours.
All right. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, and by the way, that's why they're in your room and they block you from rabbit dancing. Just a FYI.
Right. Right.
Just a FYI.
I mean, they've even went so far as to take my vehicle away.
Yeah.
They took my car. I'm like, oh, y'all don't want me going nowhere. Okay. Only to work, huh? I can only go to work. I can't go nowhere else.
They want you to get what's yours with no distractions.
Right.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
I can dig it.
All right. Me too. All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Zoc, what you got?
When I go to my shrine, I know when my mom passed over in July, my grandmother was the person that I called on.
Yeah.
But it seems as though whenever I go to my shrine, I never really call on her, or she does not come into my mind. I think I only dreamed about her once, and we were very close when she was alive. And I know when I spoke to Yana once, she said, well, Zoc maybe need to call on her grandparents and her parents. But I know her mom was Black and her dad was white, or whatever he was. I think it was white. So I was wondering if her daddy's folks was blocking my communication with her. I know it sounds a little weird, but it's been in my mind for such a long time. I said, it's got to have some kind of validity. If something is not right there.
Who is this sister? You have younger sisters?
I have a sister, Regina and Brenda. Yeah.
Which one's the youngest out of those two?
Regina.
Ask Regina if your mother has come to her.
Oh, okay. Well, that should be interesting. I'll call her today and ask her.
I don't see her being blocked. She's just doing what she want to do.
No, my grandmother. I'm talking about my grandmother.
Yeah, that's what I say. Your grandmother. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. And she's the funny one in my family. I mean, really hilarious. I mean, that woman is so funny. She used to have us rolling all the time. But for some reason, I keep thinking, it's like her father. My mom had a picture of her dad, which my grandmother looked just like him. And as a matter of fact, when I first saw my grandmother, I thought she was white. I said, who's that white lady mama's called? Mama said, that's not no white lady, it's my mama. I said, okay. So we all looked at each other because they had been estranged for years. And I always feel a sense of disturbance when I go to my shrine and I call her my grandmother. And it's almost like I'm not supposed to be calling her. But then when I remember, I force myself to call her. So I didn't know if it had anything to do with her folks or not. I mean, her daddy's people.
I don't see a block.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
No, I don't see like there's a block.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I will ask my sister if she dreamed of Granny.
Yeah, ask her. They keep pointing at her. And they kept pointing at the one that's the second down the line from you.
Okay. One is Brenda, the one that lives here in Atlanta.
Right.
And
the one that's the youngest.
Oh, the youngest is Regina. She lives in Florida.
Yeah, that one. That's the one.
Okay. So why would they point at her?
Because that's who your grandmother has. Ask her if she has dreamt about your grandmother or thought about her in a very profound way or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Because she does see things.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. But they're pointing at her as though she has communicated with her.
Okay.
So ask her that.
I'll make sure I do that. Okay. But I'm glad to know there's no block.
No.
Thanks. Thanks. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Shasta Hoon, what you got?
Peace, Chief.
Peace.
It's to the community. Not sure where to begin, but I've been trying to say, what do I deal with? I got about 7 things listed here, but let me just deal with one. I have a rabbit dancing challenge to deal with too. I keep on failing forward here, but one of them was realizing that, that pictures of non ancestors on your shrine is an issue, and I only had pictures of certain elders in my family, along with a few of us who were still alive, and they were on the shrine. So the last time we did this, I removed all of those photos, right? We were like,
that's what I said. Yeah, so just so everybody knows, stick a pin right there. This is great. Do not, under any circumstances, this is another guiding principle. See, I knew of some other stuff. I just don't think about everything off the top of my head. Do not put pictures of living relatives on, near, beside, underneath, whatever, your shrine. Do not do that. You are actually calling for them to die. That's what you're doing. You're calling for them to be ancestors. That's another way to put it. So be responsible for that. Don't do that. If you got them up there, take them down. Go ahead, you got it.
great lesson last time, made me realize how off I can be, and that this whole process is about failing forward. I'm hearing echo. I guess that's me, huh?
Yeah, I don't hear one. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So today's meeting brought up another challenge for me, and that is that, I need to understand, or maybe offline, how to deal with rabbit dancing in the shrine room, as it were.
You said rabbit dancing where?
In the shrine room.
Okay. I promise you, I thought you said rabbit dancing in the shrine. That's why I was like, where? Okay.
I mean, I don't know how you want to deal with that here offline, but I just realized that I need to deal with that as well. I thought I had the taboos in line. I got everything together, but we live, we learn. And so now I have to bring that into a corrected status and move forward. But I'm bringing it up really because I'm realizing it seems to have had an effect on what's been happening in my spiritual work, in a way that's helping me. I've been just sitting with it and realizing that that these things all serve their principles for a reason, and clearly this principle is something I need to bring into alignment with.
Yes. So you need to get some unpasteurized cow's milk, and you need to cleanse your shrine. Pour some on the top of the shrine. Pour a little bit on the top. And then you want to have it in a bowl. Pour a little bit on the top, then sit the bowl next to the shrine and light 2 white candles. You've been rabbit dancing. So that's what we're gonna do for that one. Now, can you move the shrine into another room?
Well, the shrine's in the living room. It's actually in the ideal place. I was.
Oh, you just can't make it to your bedroom. That's what I mean.
I was born in a rabbit year, Chief.
Okay. I see. I'm thinking.
I just needed to know the principles, right? I just need to know the principles. Yeah. And I was respecting everything that I knew right up to the line. I just didn't realize I was stepping across it. And now I'm really embarrassed because I realized what that means. You know what I'm saying? So I'm humbled. I almost didn't share this, but as usual, I'm here to embarrass us all for the whole community.
I promise you, I'm not the only person. You just had to speak up about it.
I'm him. I would just want to get right. And what I realize is that it's all good. just get right and get busy, keep moving, right? Failing forward. So let's clear the air. Let's and so 2 white candles. I got my connection for my unpasteurized milk. I got my black soap piled up. I thought I was all ready, Chief. I thought I had it all set up.
Except the location. Well, y'all are funny to me. I promise. So when you go to your people, you want to tell them, hey, thought I had it all lined up, but obviously I did not have it all in order. And so you just tell it like you just giving them the milk for cleansing, because you've been rabbit dancing and you understand that it's a taboo. So that's something that you understand, and so you give them the milk for that. And if they're cool, they ain't gonna knock you upside the head too much. And now ITF, no. This is what you tell them. This is perfect. You tell them that obviously, for whatever reason, you have not been able to make it to the bedroom or wherever that is. And so you tell them that moving forward, to help you to have that not happen, they need to scream at you. They need to be like, no. Then you do like Sandman.
No, I'm good. I'm good, Chief. I just had to know, right? Once I know, it's good.
Come on,
General. Can I move on to just one other thing that I really do need real help with, though?
Uh-huh.
And it's this, that my sister, I've been working with my family too, trying to figure out how best to contribute to, to the challenge that is our family coming together. And it's a beautiful thing to be part of and watching it happen. And at the same time, I'm really challenged with this, Chief. What I'm realizing is that I am really ill-equipped to be helpful, right? I have all these challenges that manifest as I seek to interact with them, you know what I mean, in just neutral capacities, and it's just all rising to the fore. While we were off between classes here today, I called my older sister, the one who's homeless. And last time I talked to her, she was literally homeless in the street. And I've been praying for her for months, and now she's in a place, right, that the government set up for her, and she has a roof over her head. And so remember that we had this accomplishment. Yeah. So in talking with her today, I was asking her what's next, where is she trying to get to, trying to figure out what to pray for next for her. But in doing so, I pushed buttons on her that made her so angry and upset that she left, we almost ended the call in anger, you know what I'm saying? And I realized that I still have so much work to do on me. And I realized that part of it is because even though she's really comfortable being in this place where she is, it's a challenge for me to be comfortable with it, right? That's really what's the challenge, is that she's cool, she's fine, she got a roof over her head and food, and and it's my big sister. I'm trying to see her go and stop charging me and the rest of us to live, and to stand up or do whatever. And she's just really comfortable where she is. So it's hard for me to interact with her when she wants to stay in this superficial place. And so here's the real point, is that literally while we were having this conversation, I wanted to say something to her about this, and I heard it just say, don't say nothing. And so I even said, okay, I'm just not even going to tell you what's going on with me. I'm just really glad that you're happy where you are, and etc. She's looking for her next handout, right? Now she wants a house that somebody can give her. And I just said, okay, let me not say nothing. And she said, okay, well, that's good, that's fine. But then moments later, I found myself saying that which I had already said was not to be said.
This is perfect. Go ahead, keep going. This is beautiful.
And then I watched what it did, and it just destroyed the conversation. and hurt her feelings and just crushed her, and then left me feeling like, what the hell? I knew I wasn't supposed to say anything, and I did it anyway. I think I heard the message and overruled it. And this is kind of a reality that, you know, working in this area. So I'm just bringing this up too for the general edification, and specifically for getting some, you know, for really going to my shrine to get the help that I need for my people to, you know, to continue transforming myself into that which is more beneficial for my family and, you know, and for the planet. That's what this is all about for me.
Okay, so you're actually getting the help that you need. You're just not adhering to it. Because they told you, don't say nothing. And then, and this is so perfect. And many of you all do this. When you get not to say something, you still have to say something. Oh, well, I'm just not going to tell you what I was going to tell you. I'm just not going to say it. I was going to tell you something, but that's okay. I'm not going to tell you. You know, you still have to say something. And when you do that, whatever that is you're withholding moves closer to the edge of your tongue. Metaphorically though, but it moves closer. And at some point, it just needs to, just one more little push to go over. And usually that push is just another thought. Well, I'm going to let whatever it is. And then you say it. And once you say it,
it's done.
You can't put it back. It's out there. And your people, like you're getting the help that you need. So it's like, and I'm not gonna let this slide. I was gonna circle back to it anyway, but this is perfect. And I was wondering why my people said don't say nothing right now, because I wanted to say something. But now I get why they said don't say anything. Now, did you have intentions? Now, if you did, trust me, I'm not gonna say you wrong. You know, I don't do that. That's not my thing. But it's just for you to see. It was interesting. Well, let me ask like this. No. Did you have intentions of going to your people about the rabbit dancing to tell you, go in the room, stop, blah, blah, blah?
Never crossed my mind once.
Right, because you don't want to be responsible for that, because you know it'll probably happen again. You don't, because by them coming to you, that forces you to have to be responsible. In the same way, this is such a, I want all y'all to get how beautiful this conversation is. In the same way they told you about your sister. Not say anything. It was loud and clear. They didn't be like, Shaz. You wasn't like, what? What'd you say? Tell me later. And you just go and you went and said it. It wasn't like that.
No.
And so it's the same thing. It's about being 100% responsible for the outcome of all of it. And so if your people come to you and they be like, Charles, come on, man. You just did this rabbit dance yesterday. You just talked to Chief. He told you to do blah, 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 blah. You don't want, like, that's not the message that you want, because there's always a payoff for all of our behavior. We just have to be clear about what the payoff is. It is always a payoff for us. There's always a payoff. Just like when whatever you said to your sister, there's a payoff in that for you. And I don't know what that payoff was. There's a payoff. And whenever there's a payoff, there's always a cost. And consider that the cost is for you not to be as related to your sister as you can be. The cost is for you to be right.
Yes.
No. That's the payoff for you to be right.
Yeah. Yep.
The payoff is for you to be right. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so,
long time battle. Mm-hmm.
yeah. And so it's like, you know, we all have free will. You can do what we want to do. In the same way, like you freely told your experience, and trust me, I really appreciate it. And somebody else commented about, you know, you being self-expressed. They didn't use those words; they said it a different way. And being vulnerable. It's all a choice. The same way you chose that, you could have chosen to adhere to that directive from your ancestors. And it's not a wrong thing.
No, it's all good.
Because,
you know what, Chief? I realize is that I rarely hear that clearly. But the fact that I can tell you all that is really what is significant to me. It's like I think that I'm usually too dull or something. But that time I heard it, you know what I mean? I watched myself ignore it, and then I watched it blow up. It took the hour we were gone, right? And so I just had to tell y'all, it's like, dang, this failure is just too hot, too clean, just too immediate. Right? But usually I don't hear that. I'm like, I'm not sure that that's what's up. But today you could hear me say clearly. I heard him clearly say, don't say nothing. I even said it myself. That's how I know I heard it. I actually said the words. How can I deny that? And usually I wouldn't give credit for that. That was just me thinking and, you know, analyzing. But you know what my sister said? Can you just be my brother? Can you not analyze me and just try to solve me and whatever? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, the honest answer is that I don't even know what that means. To just not analyze, you know, to not process, to not. And I hear what she's saying, but I also see my challenge is that she's right. It's hard to call me and just get, you know, how you doing? Da, 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 da. Okay, see you later, click. I'm like, yo, what's happening? What you struggling with? What are we working on? Right? And she don't want that. And I respect that, but I don't know how to just be like, yeah, what's up, you know?
yeah.
Just be your brother.
And remember, this is, oh my goodness, y'all don't understand how great of a conversation this is. Remember what was identified as the cost. She said it. She just wants you to be her brother, which means relatedness. That's the cost. That's all she wants. And so you go to your people about that. So that's what you go to them about. You go to them about being related, being a brother, and not being an analyst. you could be an analyst from 9 to 5. Yeah, you go to them about having you be a brother, having you all be related. That's all she wants. That's her request. And so people will always, especially like your sister, she pointed out like her deepest desire. Because the other things that you're concerned about, she's not concerned about them. And consider, this is just something to look at. Consider that the only way that she can be related to you is when she wants a handout. That's when she gets attention. Now, it may not be the attention that she wants, but it's attention. And so that may be why it occurs to you as it being a handout. But really, the only way she can talk to y'all is let me ask her for something. They'll give me attention because they're gonna lecture me, they're gonna do something. And she could be where she is now in her life, could be at a place that allows her to breathe.
Breathe?
Yeah, breathe, yes.
You're right, and she's expressing it repeatedly. She's overjoyed. Mm-hmm.
So for her to go someplace higher at this point in her life may not be the thing for her at where she is today. Maybe tomorrow, she just may need to catch her breath.
And who am I to try to move her or to see something else for her, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct. And you can see it, but you don't have to impose it. You can see it because we're gonna see all kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when she and when you have the relatedness, you will know when she's caught her breath. She just want to breathe. That's all she want to do. Like, Lord, I ain't got to worry about being homeless. Oh my God, my head. Ooh, you know, she's just like, let me just sit and enjoy this for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you in the shower and it's not, you got some nice, the water's the perfect temperature for you. And you're just like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden the hot water start running out. You're like, wait. And then you turn off all the cold water just to get that last little bit of hot water. That's what it's like. I promise you that's what it's, all she want to do is like, ooh boy, just, you know, catch her breath, get her bearings. That's all she wants to do, and allow her to get her bearing, allow her to do that, and in the same time, you can be a brother. And it doesn't mean that you don't have to analyze, but it doesn't. The analysis doesn't have to look like judgment.
Mm-hmm.
It can just look like we just having a conversation. That's it. And so she could be viewing it as judgment. Could be. Could be. So
she is, and I just want to understand. That's what I told her too. I just want to understand what's going on, and she takes that as I'm trying to analyze her.
But she told you how to understand.
She did, and my point is that you don't know me. You don't realize this is me. This is me trying to do that. Believe it or not, you got to be patient with me. I still got work to do to be able to come at you in a way that isn't this abrasive. I mean, and that's the fact of the matter. I have work to do, but like you're saying, I got to do that work.
Yeah, and it's, look, I promise you, it's easy, and that's why I love conversation, because to get to the root of what to do is always simple. It's never this monumental, oh my God, the world. It's never that. This is as simple as you going to your people saying, hey, I got it. Had a light bulb moment. Help me to become a brother to your granddaughter, to my sister. That's what I want. I want relatedness. That's what I want. Because that is the thing that will have our relationship flourish. That is the thing that will have her to even be a sister to me. Because when you do that, you're not even giving her the space to be a sister.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving her a space to be, how do you phrase it? Somebody who's looking for a handout, however you characterize those people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all she can be to you, is that. So yeah, let's see, look, these are the things that our ancestors go to work on in our lives. When we get our shrines, especially, but when we start this work, these are the things that they started to chip away at this stuff that has disharmony exists. you know, within the family itself. They start chipping away at it. And it's not like, none of this work is for the faint of heart. It's not. It's not for that. Not for that person. Nope. Not, I promise you it's not. Not at all. And we want, you have to get, we want to be, especially as people of African descent, we want to be whole and complete. We strive for that daily, to the point where if we do not get it, that's an issue. We fight, we claw, we do everything for that. And half the time we don't even know what it looks like, or how to get there, but we're fighting for something. That's what we're fighting for. And we are. That is, I promise you, that's what we're fighting for. A woman called me the other day, yesterday, as a matter of fact. And I was in the middle of a meeting. And I said, hey, I'm gonna have to call you back. And I could just hear, like, the upset. Not like anger upset, but just upset. Because she started to cry. And I said, hey, I'll give you a call back after I get done with my meeting. So when I got done, I called her back. And when I called her out, my concern was her upset. Like, okay, something is not right. And you know what wasn't right? She did not know how to find an anthill for her yara yara. That's the part that wasn't right. And that showed me that all she wants to do is to be whole and complete. All she wants is for her life to work. So whatever that takes, that's her commitment. And if it called for her to break out in the tear, like those tears were tears of whatever they were. Could have been frustration, because she didn't know where to find one. So it brought her tears, because her life depended on this yara yara. Not like she was gonna die, but her life depended, her having her life, her being whole and complete, depended on that. And that's how committed she was to that. Now, with that being said, more than half the people that I divine for, they either get yara yaras from me, they get yara yaras from Chief Bonzaba, or any of my other elders, they don't have that level of commitment. They just don't. No, they'll get around to it. But she is so committed to having her life work. That's her commitment. She was willing to do whatever it took. Because she does not want, like, she's like, tradition is, if I've done everything else, none of that stuff ain't working. Yeah. She had a divination, and that seemed to lead somewhere, wherever it did for her, And so we're really, at the end of the day, that's all we want. That's all your sister wants. That's all you want. Everybody on this call, that's all you want. You want to be whole and complete, and you want that for your family. If you didn't, your family wouldn't frustrate you, I promise you. I guarantee they would not frustrate you or bother you in the least. And you would have wrote them off like other people. You just done wrote off like, whatever, I'm out. But your family is gonna ride you like a rented mule. I mean, like a rented mule. like that. Because they're gonna ride you. Because you have to understand, and this is for everyone, you have to understand your unspoken commitment to your family that you might not even be aware of. That's the only way they can frustrate you. That's the only way you can fuss at them. That's the only way they can get on your nerves. Because, yeah, they done got on your nerves 50 million times. But you keep coming back. How about that? Keep coming back. And they keep coming back to you. Now, coming back, that may be a span of 1 week. It may be a span of a year. But the point is you keep coming back.
Yep.
Because we're all committed to that. But we have to admit, and we have to come to the fact that that is one of the things that we are committed to. Period. I promise you, people that I'm not committed to, they couldn't get on my nerves in the least. I promise you that. Nope. Mm-mm. I said, oh, well, I hope it kind of works out for you, you know. Mm-hmm.
You know, in wrapping that situation with my sister and just trying to close it up, that's what I was telling her. Is that, you know, I love you, and I'm not trying to be a pain in your butt. I'm not trying to push your buttons. I mean, you know, I don't even have words, but all I was trying to say is what you're saying. You know what I mean? Is that, yeah, this is all love, but it hurts like hell. I do understand it's obnoxious. We're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on that. I think the point is that we have to figure out how to come to our people. We have to be able to come to our people in a way that works for them. I mean, I heard other people speak of it too. So I'm glad to be part of the process. I got a lot to work through, but don't worry. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Like, you know, it's like an athlete and a coach. Some athletes, you have to curse them out in order for them to move. And some of them, if you curse them out, they ain't gonna move. They're gonna be in their feelings about it, whatever that is. Mm-hmm. And the athlete you have to curse out. If you just tell them, hey, why don't you go ahead, you know, run it down and out, catch the ball, blah, 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 blah. They're gonna run it down and in. They're gonna do a totally different play. And so our family is like that. You just have to know the language to speak to them that they can understand. And that's one of the things you go to your people with. You tell them to give you the words to speak, to give you the language to speak that they can understand. And that's the thing that makes a difference, the way of being that you need to be with them. You know, being a brother, whatever that way of being is, that's what you need. So yeah, good. This was hot. Told y'all this was a hot conversation. That was H-O-T, baby. God dog it.
Thank you, Chief. Always appreciate you muchly.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And I got 2 things to follow up on you after this, so stay tuned. I'm coming.
Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Nice. Okay. So now, it's 4:55. Let me see. We got one more person. Sue Pele, what you got?
Hey, Chief. Hey, everybody.
Uh-huh.
Hey. I need to speak to after Chief as well, since we're almost done. if that's okay.
What time? I have after this one. I think it's If it's quick, we can talk. If it's quick after this one, we can talk. Have another call after we get off this one. With
Yeah, it's quick.
Okay. Okay, that works.
Okay. So I've been trying to communicate with my family, of course, since I started doing this work. And I haven't spoken to my sister since September, when there was a message I had to give her, and she hasn't answered my phone calls since. Well, today, on her Facebook, she put, she's been in the hospital for a week with her sickle cell. It's the one with sickle cell anemia. And, you know, she's in pain and on this and the other. And my people told me, go to the shrine. And I'm like, I'm on my way. I gotta go use cow's milk and like today, and I'm trying to find this perfume oil, and I got like 80 million things. And they said, go to the shrine. So I went to the shrine with what they told me to, you know, to take, and I did a ritual. So I'm like, okay. And then I left home. So I'm out and about now. But my thing is, how do I know how she's doing? And this is kind of like the opposite of Shaw's scenario, but if she won't answer my call, if they won't respond, you know, for me to just find out, hey, how are you doing? You know, how are things going? Or should I just leave it alone?
This is perfect. Girl, let me tell you something. I can rattle off for you off the top of my head. I can rattle off 2 things that you can do immediately.
Okay.
1, you do the milk ritual. Find out how she's doing. 2, you just go to your shrine and you just tell your people what you want to know. You just give them a white candle and a red candle is fine. Tell them what you want to know about her, and go off and do your thing. 2 ways you can find out.
Okay.
And if you were in the advanced shells class, I could give you 1, 2. I can give you 3 ways off the top of my head to find out, just by using those shells. More than just a yes or no.
Okay. I'll have to take the next one. Yeah. I didn't get to make that advanced shells class, so I'll have to take the next one.
You're right, Roxanne. Yeah, see? That's how you find out. That's easy. Told y'all this. Easy. So simple. But, you know, it's only easy when you know. It's like, you know, learning Cal 1, Cal 2, blah, blah, blah. When you first get in there, you might be like, ooh, wait, hold up, time out. But once you get how to use exponents, how to work those formulas, it's easy at that point. You do it blindfolded. It's the same way. And I'm always going to say, oh, this is easy. The solution is always right there in our faces. And I commend you for going to do the ritual.
Because I was thinking, I'm like, Utah's like 2.5 hours away. I still got to go get this milk before they close. And but I'm on my way to go get it now. So it worked out. So I guess they're like, oh, don't worry, you have time to do it.
Yeah. And then you go to your people and be like, hey. Be clear about something. I'm traveling. How far is it? 2 hours?
2 hours.
2 hours. I'm traveling 2 hours to get this milk. God dog it. And you know I don't have that much stuff to do with this milk. So y'all need to let me freeze this one and then thaw it out when needed. Ask them that.
That was a question I was going to be asking soon.
Excellent.
Because before they told me, no, I couldn't freeze it. but I think I may know the reason why at first, but now hopefully they'll say yes. So,
See? Easy. Uh-huh. Thank you. That was, man, this is great. I'm gonna have these more often. I like this.
thank you, Chief.
You're welcome. All right, now, Marquita, what you got? Or is this partner in crime?
No, it's me.
What? Uh,
Yeah, it's me this time.
okay, give it to me. What you got?
All right, so I have a quick question.
Yes.
So, of course, I'm new to, the tradition and learning everything. So my biggest thing is I'm trying to get out of my head about things. We're doing the invocations, and rituals. Like it's like I'm trying to scare myself, but I'm trying to get myself out of. I don't know how to say this. I think it's like I'm always watching over my back, and I'm like, is somebody there? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't want it to be where I'm second guessing so much that my ancestors be like, you know what? We just gonna be like, I'm done. She can't handle it. It's too much for her. I don't want to be in that headspace.
Don't worry about that. You'll get out of it. I promise you. You'll be amazed. I'm sure most of these people, if I said raise your hand right now, if you second guess yourself, I promise you every hand will be raised. And if some of them people don't raise their hand, I'm gonna say, remember you just called me the other day to second guess. It happens with everybody. It happened with me. Because it's something that we're not used to. And our ancestors understand that we're babies. They understand, like, we're coming from a different experience. They definitely understand that. And so if we allow them to, they will hold our hands through the entire process. So it's fine if you look over your shoulder, second guess yourself, but that's perfectly fine. You're in a good space.
And it's crazy because if I talk to someone else about it and they be like, oh, so what you doing? And it's like I can explain it to them perfect. And I'm like, no, it's okay. But when it comes to myself, I'm like, yeah, every little knock, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. What's that? What's going on? Wait a minute. Like I heard 3 knocks. Like I could have sworn I heard like 3 knocks in my kitchen the other day, and I was like, yeah, I'm not getting up. No, I'm not going in there.
Oh, hey, well, you need to come and stay the night at my house. My mom, she was a test. She had to come and wake me up in the middle of the night, and she was like, hey, you need to tell your people to chill out because I want to sleep. They making too much noise in here. Just making noise. And I went and I said, hey, y'all need to chill out. I'm all trying to sleep. Boom, and they stopped immediately.
Well, it's the touching too. Yeah, it's everything. It's like the touches. Like I could be in my car and I'm tripping. Like, so to piggyback off what Nikki said earlier, like talking to your ancestors, it's like I be like the other day I did an invocation of the ancestors were escaping slavery.
Yes.
And I had this big pressure come on me at work. So I'm sitting at my desk. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? And I was like, yo, get up, get off me, like get off me right now. And my coworker was just looking at me like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, yo, don't worry about it, I'm good. So yeah.
Yes. So they will touch you at times. They will flick your ear. You'd be like, looking over like, all of that stuff. Because so one of the reasons is that no one has given them attention in hundreds of years. And so now somebody has shown up who wants to connect with them. However that connection looks, they want to connect with them. So they're excited, they're happy. They want you to know that they're here, that they're present. And so now the way that they express themselves, you know, look in your ear, somebody done rub your neck or your foot, like what? That's happened to me. And I know I'm not imagining things, but they'll stop because my people stopped. I didn't have to tell them to stop. They just stopped. I guess it was probably once they got used to me, like calling them and stuff like that. They're like, okay, this little boy is serious. And so they stopped.
So when you feel like they're being overwhelming and you're like, okay, get up, move. That's not like telling them to like go away for the day. That's just like, look, you're doing too much. It's too much pressure on me. Okay.
Yeah. You just tell them like, hold up, time out, hold up. Now I said, just come around. I didn't say sit on me. That's two different things. Stand over there. I'll stand over here. Now let's walk down this aisle together. Simple. They know.
Okay.
Sometimes they just get excited. And that's why like I'll say, and sometimes you have to remind them. I'll say, you know, make sure you tell them don't overwhelm you. Because they will sometimes. They get overzealous. Whatever that is for them, they get happy. And they just forget. I don't know if they're really forgetting, but that's just my thing. It's like, okay, y'all must have forgot what I told y'all. Y'all need to take a couple steps backwards. Like
and when we tell them that we don't need to do like a bold invocation, we could just say it to them, right? Like, hey, all right.
Yeah, you can just say, hey, whoa, time out, partner, player, whatever. Oh, this stuff called personal space that we have here in the West. You don't gotta cross that line a little bit. You know, you can joke around with them like that, but just tell them like, you know, just back up a little bit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, excellent. Nice. What else you got?
Yeah, I'll wait to class to. Yeah, I'll wait till Monday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had a dream I wanted to ask about, but.
Okay, yeah, let's do it Monday. Let's do that on Monday.
What you wrong?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's do that Monday. You know, and it's good that like your people will be present, and they'll do things to us sometimes that we don't understand why they're doing it, but they'll do it to save our lives or to prevent us, keep us out of danger or something like that. Right. And just listen to you, like having them, like when you talk about how they're interacting with you. I remember during 9/11, I was in New York, and on that Tuesday morning, matter of fact, I was in New York on my honeymoon when I was married, and we were gonna go over to the towers that morning to the stock exchange and then go eat breakfast at the mall over there. And so we had planned to get up around 4 or 5 o'clock. And I don't have to set an alarm clock. I can just tell myself I want to get up at a certain time and I'll wake up within 5 minutes before, maybe a couple of minutes after, something like that. So I woke up at like 5 a.m. I was clear it was 5 o'clock. And I remember I was trying to get out the bed and I was sleeping on my stomach. And something was sitting on my shoulders. Literally, I couldn't move. So I was like, it didn't alarm me. I wasn't afraid. I was like, okay, I'll just lay here for a few more minutes. I dozed off again. I probably woke up about 30 minutes later, put my hands out to push myself up. And I wasn't dreaming. I was wide awake. I promise you, I could not move a lick. And I didn't get alarmed for whatever reason. I was like, okay, it's still early. I could probably lay down a little bit longer. I laid down, and next thing you know, as I was opening my eyes, my ex-wife was actually waking me up, and she's like, something happened. I was like, what are you talking about? And then she pointed at the news, and the plane had hit the building. Now, if I had gotten up that morning, I can't tell you what would have happened. I just know I would have been down there in the middle of all that stuff.
Right.
If they wouldn't have sat on me like that. To the point where I couldn't, and I think I'm pretty strong relatively speaking, but I couldn't move at all. It felt like somebody put like 1,000 pounds on my back, and I just could not budge one bit. And so sometimes, and you will see as you go along, when they come at us like that, it's possible that they're doing that in order to prevent us from being in danger or something like that. That could be it when they do that. So you just made me think about that when you were talking about your experience. But yeah, I know that they can do that.
But it was a lot of pressure though. I could feel it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt all the pressure on my back. God dog it. Like,
So y'all got me right here walking like an old lady. Like, get up.
Ooh, so yeah. Okay. What else you got?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, I ain't got nothing either. How about that? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Denise.
Hey, Chief. Hey, everybody. Quick question from the last call from this morning. I didn't get to ask you this. If we're on our cycle and you said just tell your people, is that something if we don't do our homework or don't do any type of invocation that week, are we supposed to let them know, or what did you mean by it?
No, you don't have to let them know. They know.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to let them know. They know.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing, because I thought you had told somebody just let them know. So I was like, oh, how do we do that? So we don't have to say anything to them or anything like that.
They know. Yeah.
Okay. And also, my shrine got messed up with the shipping or whatever. I tried to manipulate it to get it to stand back up, and I noticed my yams are completely out now, and I tried to position that. Is that a problem? Like, I can see there's mold had grown on the yams. And...
Do this. Yes, do this. Take your feathers off, the rock off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wet your shrine, kind of reconstitute it, and remold it into the shape. I apologize. I meant to tell you that because I had Letitia do the same thing, and I meant to tell you to do the same thing. If you continue to.
So you wetted like a lot of water to get it back to that clay consistency, or?
Yeah, but not too soupy. But you want to get it to that consistency. Yeah, you want to wet it, and then you can remold it, and then you shouldn't have to stick you may not have to stick the yams back in there because they're probably already in whatever position they're in, but just enough water to reach.
No, like the top half of my shrine is complete like a cap. It's like off.
Right.
So like everything it can be exposed. So in order to reshape it, like the bottom half is basically crumbled up. The top is intact, but the bottom half is completely crumbled up. So how do I?
Yeah, just wet it, remold it. If you have to stick the yams back in there, stick the yams back in there, and just remold it. Stick the rock back on top, and put the feathers back on top, and that should be good.
Okay.
Yes.
And I didn't know. I don't know if the feathers just do that on their own. Do they just move around? I was kind of worried, like if I had a creature or something in my house taking the feathers, but like seems like the feathers just keep falling down into the gravel part. Is that? I don't know.
That's normal.
That's normal. Okay.
Somebody came by. Hannah came by yesterday, and her feathers are, they're on the side. Somebody called me the other day. I think we were in a class, I think, and they were talking about their husband or somebody stood there and watched the feather move. It was just moving.
Oh wow. Okay.
So yeah.
Because I was about to put like a plastic box or something over to protect it.
No, that's fine. Because your shrine is active. It's not dormant. It's very, very active. So yeah, that's fine if it does that. That's perfectly fine.
Okay. And have you gave any homework assignments or anything to do anything with the oil yet? Did I miss anything? No. Okay.
You didn't miss that.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all I have. I reached out to my cream. Still haven't heard anything for for the meeting. So I just want to let you know that as well.
Okay. All right. I'll take care of it.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Good. It is 5:16. And I really enjoyed this conversation. This was great. And it let me know like what people's concerns are, because that's really why I had this call. And so I'll tell you something that happened about a year ago, roughly, maybe a little bit over a year. I was supposed to be having these calls for the past year. However, when my people told me to do it, as far as I went was to create Beyond ARC group on Facebook. And I did not have these calls. Can anybody guess why? Because I didn't want to. It was simple. For me, it was simple. And so because I was in that place, like, I don't want to do that. That means my Saturday gonna be taken up all day. Like, I was in my head about all of that stuff. So y'all can see I experienced some of the same stuff y'all experienced. I just didn't want to do it. It was simple to me. So guess what? I didn't do it. And periodically throughout the year, my people would bring it up. And they'll say, you need to do something with that group. I'd be like, I have somebody else work with that. It's not on my list of what I want to do. Got enough stuff going on as it is. And then finally, last week, things came to a head, because not really to a head. I got a phone call from one of the students, and she was having a huge breakdown, within her family, and she did not know what to do at all. And when I talked to her and she explained what was going on, I was like, that's easy. And I told her what to do, and she was like, that's it? I was like, yeah, that's all you got to do. Simple. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, wait a minute. If she's dealing with this, how many other people are dealing with whatever they're dealing with, around working their shrine? And then I had a conversation with some other people, some Kareems actually. And they were like, yeah, one of my students was doing blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, this student is, and I started finding out that people are having some breakdowns around their lives and how to incorporate using their shrine within their lives to help their lives have a lot of ease. And so that's why I had this call today. And that's why it seemed like it just popped up out of the blue. And the reason it seemed that way is because just last week, I was like, you know what? I got to do something. And initially I was like, I was thinking to myself, I'll just do something when I come back from Ghana. And my people were like, nope. And see, I'm the type person, I'm not going to not listen to them 50 million times. If I don't listen to them once, which usually I listen to them the first time, well, yeah, I guess so, something like that. But it won't go past 2 times of me not listening to what they're saying at all. Not at all. So I understand why we need to have this call, and just let you all know I thoroughly enjoyed this call, because really at the end of the day, it's all about you. It's all about your life. It's all about the life of your family. It's all about you having the life that you need in order for your family to be successful, to be whole and complete, all of those things, so that you can always be the full expression of yourself, which in turn helps your family to be the full expression of themselves, because you're always going to be the model for that, for them. So anyway, with that being said, thank you. I really appreciate it. Just don't know how much. Appreciate it a great deal.
Thank you, Chief.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Hey.
Thank you, Chief.
You are welcome.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks so much, Chief.
Thank you.
All right, y'all have a fantastic Well, the rest of your Saturday is 5:20 here. Those of y'all on the West Coast,
Chief, good night. Good night, everyone.
good night. It's only 2:20, and you have like boom, whatever that is for you the rest of your day. All
Thank
right.
you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Mm.